Welcome back. Long time no see.
Really long time.
Yeah, we have been slacking hardcore on content. We both had a lot going on. Spring break, things happened after the holidays. You had crazy stuff going on in your household. I had stuff going on in my household. So we do apologize for the delay, but we are finally getting back into it starting now. I feel like it's been a year since we've done that intro. It's been a long time.
It really does seem like a long time.
Crazy. So we have had we haven't done content in a while, but in our break that we unexpectedly took, we received a lot of questions, about Trade the Pool and our experience with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've been saying for forever that we're going to do an update. We're going to put out videos around it and content and all this type of stuff. And we haven't done that. So again, apologies for that. But what we wanted to do today was actually provide an update of sorts. And that's the other thing too. Like, we both have dabbled in the pool, right?
Yeah.
We haven't full on dove into the pool, to be completely honest, because we still have been using our actual real accounts more than anything. It's hard to step away from that to get into this.
For several reasons.
Yes. And we'll talk about that a little bit in this video, but we at least wanted to give our thoughts and some updates on Trade the Pool. And in future content, we do plan to showcase the platform much more, fleshed out, more detail, because the platform itself that you trade on, in my opinion, is actually not bad. I've used interactive brokers. Well, I personally have never had interactive brokers accounts, but I've seen them. I've had friends that have used them, and I would pick Trade the Pool's platform over that personally.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the platform looks good.
Yes. So actually, I'm just going to pop this up here real quick. And again, we're going to do content in the future to flesh out the platform in more details. The whole point of this video is kind of just to touch on some maybe pros and cons in our opinions and some updates, things of that nature. So this is just a quick look at the actual platform. This is how I have it set up. And again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on it because we can do that in future content, but that is something I do. We're going to do that. I am fully going to commit to doing some content around the Trade the Pool platform. I promise. But this is just a rough idea of what it looks like, right? The ticker. I have things linked so it shows NVIDIA. It's got the chart, the level 2, the time and sales, any orders I have on it, and then I have them linked together, which again, we could show that type of stuff in more detail later. But if I typed in, I don't know, Meta, right? Hit enter, it changes all three things. Time and sales is empty because it's an after hours and nothing's happening, so whatever. But they are all linked, so that's easy to do, and that is nice. So the platform's actually not bad, in my opinion. And you can customize charts.
Similar to DAS.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I have it set up to where it is somewhat similar to my DAS platform as much as I kind of could with reason. I know we've touched on I think we've touched on the level 2 and it has improved. Let me say that. From the way it used to be to where it is now, it is much improved. They only used to show the top of the book, right? Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, it was just like the top of the book, the best.
Yeah.
Didn't ask.
So now they show, you know, a little bit more depth where the buyers and sellers, et cetera, are sitting. The level 2 has gotten better, and then you can see time and sales. It does actually work as orders come in. Like I said, it's after hours, so there's just not a lot of movement. But it is customizable as far as indicators and things like that. But we will do future videos fleshing out the platform a bit more, at least for our liking. But I'm going to pull this up and kind of just leave this here for a while, because this is the bulk of it, right? So trade the pool. You have different options, right? You got the mini, you got the super, you got the extra, and then big red numbers, of course, how much they cost. And below that, it breaks down all the different kind of ins and outs of the program, like how much buying power you get, what the profit target is, your max loss, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Most of it's pretty self-explanatory. And then it goes across the different platforms, right? Like this to me is simple, easy to read, makes sense, tells you what the splits are, tells you what the profit targets are, the max loss you're allowed to have, all that good stuff. Your daily loss allowance, like it breaks all of that down.
Yeah,
which
I mean,
to me is
they, you know, they won't let you blow the account up in a day.
right, which is good. So for example, let's just say the mini buying power, which I think we've told people before. If you sign up for Trade the Pool, I would suggest either the mini or the super, just to get your feet wet, and see what you think about it before you were to ever consider jumping up. That's just my opinion. But so the mini, for example, right? Your profit target is 1,800. The max loss is 900. You have 45 days to either hit your profit target, or if you hit your max loss before your profit target, you're done. But then if you go down a little bit, you see this daily loss allowance is 300. When you hit that 300, you're cut out for the day. Right? Like you can't trade anymore. And you can do that basically 3 times. So you have that $900 total loss, and then you're done, right? But one thing I wanted to talk about specifically around that we kind of discovered over our own experiences is, let me get this screenshot pulled up because I think this is important. If I can get it pulled up. So this right here, right? This screenshot. This is from a Trade the Pool account, right? So this is for the mini. And as you can see, like the daily loss limit, 300 like it states. Your max drawdown, 900 like it states. This account was blown out, right? 937, count done. But the two things I wanted to point out that aren't really fleshed out in that website are these two things here. So the loss limit per filled order, and then this equities volume limit. So this loss limit per filled order, even though your daily loss limit is 300, loss limit per filled order is only 90. So this was even confusing to me, right? Like when I first started trading, because I'd get into a trade, right? Thinking, okay, I'm in a trade, I can risk $300. And then they would take me out at 90. I'd be down $90 and they'd take me out. And that kind of kept happening. And I was really confused by that. So finally, I just reached out, asked about it. And I learned through trial and error and through reaching out that if I short something at $1, right? And short 100 shares and it goes to $1.90, that's a $90 loss. It's going to take me out because I only have one order in. So the only way to like circumvent this or get around it is to basically, because this is a loss limit per filled order, you basically have to put in 3 orders, like boom, 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 back to back to back at the same spot to really, if you really wanted to risk 300 on a singular trade, right? If I'm shorting something at $1 and I want to risk $1.30 and take 300 shares to make that daily loss limit fully utilized, you have to get in 3 quick orders like back to back to back. That's the only way to circumvent. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Okay. And then the other thing, and this is where it's kind of hard to explain too, right? And I tried to explain this to you earlier. It's kind of a struggle. But if I short it at $1, right? Short 100 shares at $1, and then it gets to $1.50, and I'm down $50, and I want to add, right? I want to short another 100 shares. I'm adding to a loser, which whatever. I don't even want to go down that path. But you add to the loser. So then I've added another 100 shares. Well, that first order you put in at $1, if stock does hit 190, that original 100 shares are still going to be taken out at $1.90. Your second 100 shares that you put in at $1.50 will stay on, but those first 100 shares that you put in at $1 are going to be taken out at $1.90. That's why I say the only way to fully circumvent that daily loss limit at 300 in one go is to put in 3 orders back to back to back at the same exact spot as best you can, roughly. If it's a fast, volatile moving ticker, that can be tough to do, to put in 3 orders back to back to back. And we did an interview with Michael, right, a while ago, long while ago.
Yeah, and he even said that he he wants you to scale in.
Yeah. He kept saying, you learn to build a position. You build around a core and you build a position. And I mean, Trade the Pool kind of really does force you to do that to some degree. Like I said, you can circumvent it. Like if you have a spot on that chart, you really want to get involved long or short at this mark and you want to risk this for the full 300, you can do that. You just got to hit it 3 times quick. Boom, boom, boom. That's the only way to get around it. Otherwise, yeah, you do have to kind of build a position. Like you're building up to a certain level and you're adding when things start to go in your favor to build or pyramid into the position. And if people trade like that, then for them, that would be no problem. But we don't really trade like that. Historically, we've never really done that. We see an area we like, we get in that area that we like, and we have a set risk amount, and that's what we do. But this can be a little tougher to do that. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, just this picture here, and this one's much easier to explain, but this equities volume limit, this does scale as you buy a high. So this is the mini buying power. If you buy the extra buying power, your equities volume limit does go up. But 2,000 shares on something that's trading at 10 cents, right? Let's just say 10 cents. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of shit. It's not a lot of, your position's not going to be huge. So the only reason I wanted to touch on that is whether you're using the mini or whatever buying program or buying power program you get involved with, in my opinion, it does make it kind of difficult to trade the really, really cheap stuff, right? Like sub pennies out the window, in my opinion. You can't even mess with sub penny if that's your thing. I don't trade sub pennies anyway, so it doesn't affect me. Not too common these days that I trade stuff even under, I don't really like trading stuff under 50 cents, to be honest with you. I know sometimes we do if it's super extended or whatever, but even on our real accounts, we start trading that low dollar stuff, and like fees and locates can kill us.
Yeah.
It'll
eat it all up.
Yeah. So we're not big on trading the super low dollar stuff anyway. But I at least wanted to touch on that just to be transparent. If trading the sub pennies is your thing, or the really cheap stuff is your thing, it would be difficult to do that effectively with Trade the Pool as far as utilizing your entire buying power because of the equities volume limit. And the last thing I would say on the buying power, and I think the website does a better job of explaining this part, is when you're holding overnight or swinging stuff, it only lets you use, I believe it's either 10 or 20% of your buying power that you can swing. You cannot swing your entire buying power, which I would say to anybody anyway, even on our real accounts, I don't ever full port a swing. I don't want to wake up owing the broker money. So I don't
Yep.
think that's a bad thing, but just FYI.
I don't either. I
Yeah.
rarely ever swing anything, but
Yeah, I like my sleep, and then if I do swing stuff, it is with a relatively small percentage of my account as a whole. When it comes to small caps, I'm sounding like a total hypocrite because obviously I'm super deep into Nvidia and AMD and Meta, but those are large caps and trade very differently from us. I mean, you can go to bed and a small cap's trading at 5, you're short, you wake up the next day and it's trading at 50, and you owe your broker 100 grand or something crazy. Like small caps is a totally different ballgame when it comes to swinging.
oh yeah,
So FYI. Um, but I wanted to touch on that too, because if you did want to, like, utilize a lot of your buying power to swing something like Nvidia, um, it's not super viable to do that because of the limitations on your swinging potential with them. But with all that being said, I still say to anybody starting out, I would recommend trade the pool 100% over paper trading or simulated trading, because at least there's some real emotion.
yeah, real skin in it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you could fail the eval, pass eval. At least there's some emotional attachment to it, and you'll experience some real things in the trade the pool pro. Like slippage can be real. Um, things like that, especially with small caps. But those are the main things I wanted to kind of touch on out of the gate. Do you have anything that you can think of out of the gate?
I mean, just don't. I don't want to say this the wrong way, but have your expectations if you're gonna do it. But don't go in thinking like if just for example, if you've traded on with a broker like a high quality broker like Cobra or something like we use, you blew up your account, whatever, you don't you're whatever reason, and you're coming into this and you're used to that, don't don't expect it to be exactly the same. I mean, the fills aren't going to be as smooth. The platform's pretty nice, but like on really low volume, small cap stuff, you got to be careful. You can um, you don't really want to use market orders on stuff like that. Like you can get bad slippage. So I mean, just be realistic with it, because I mean it is a lower like a lower price thing option for you that could be good, but just I'd say some people complaining about stuff like that, and I've had some complaints. So, I mean, I just try to be realistic with it.
That's a good point, and I'll pull up the platform here and try to like flesh that out at least a little bit. Um, so, and like I said, we're gonna do future content more so around just the platform by itself. But can you see my mouse?
Hmm.
Okay. So this is level 2, right? Top of the book, bottom of the book as far as the market depth shows us. DOS is similar as far as how the book is laid out. If we market into something in Cobra, we typically, even on a market order, are going to get filled, in my experience, pretty damn close to the top of the book, maybe slightly below it, but never like a bottom fill, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now with trade the pool, in our some of our experience, especially with these small moving, fast moving small cap tickers. Um, Sometimes with stuff like that, um, our fills on market orders can be bottom of the book, like pretty rough on a market order. Like you were saying with Cobra, that's not something we'd experienced, you know. But two, we're using DOS direct access broker. We're paying for that platform. It's not cheap. You know, so yeah, I mean, realistic expectations. But with large caps, no, I don't think that's as much of an issue. I think it does reside more with small caps. Like for example, now this was a while ago, so the chart's going to look Yeah, no worries. I don't know when I was trading this. This was a week or more ago. But I tried to market into this particular ticker, and I had a fill right near the bottom of the book, which at the time was like a 20 or 30 cent difference from where the top of the book was trading at that point in time.
Yes, I mean you're immediately down quite a bit.
Yeah, I was immediately down uh that $90, that ticker or that entry max loss. I instantly, like the second I got in, boom, down $90 out. Like my entry's like beep beep. Like had no time to do anything else because of the fill on that market order. So
I had a
um
that I was trading when I was using the trading pool account, and it did that. I marketed in, and it filled me at like, I mean, the bottom of. I didn't even know I could get filled at the bottom of this wick the way it did, and I mean, it immediately
right.
max loss, immediate max loss.
Yep. So that is a thing that we have experienced. So we just at least wanted to share that. Now, that's not to say, um, with Cobra, we've said before on our other videos, like I know a lot of guys on Twitter and different things like, oh, never market order, always limit. Like, yeah, ideally I like to use limit orders, but there are times in some of the trades that we take, especially the pairs that you love. I mean, sometimes if you want to get execute on those things, like you got to mark it in. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I mark it in all the time.
yeah, and but again, with that broker, we typically don't have a problem with that. Now, one thing I will say that again kind of circumvents that issue and is, in my opinion, very helpful is if you're in the program or in the platform, whatever, you go to the settings menu and you go to hotkeys, which is already here. They have a tons. I just learned this like a week or two ago, so shame on me for not knowing it sooner. But they have like, so I actually think their hotkey uh, potential is equivalent almost to. I mean, DOS has a lot. Trade the Pool has a lot. You can create hotkeys for everything, for drawings, for orders. So you can create hotkeys to order in limit orders. Bid plus one or ask plus one or bid plus five. Whatever it is you want to do to help circumvent that market order issue, you can create hotkeys in whatever shape, way, or form you want to help with limit orders. Um,
That's pretty solid.
I Yeah, and I just learned about that. So I use a Stream Deck. I love a Stream Deck. I'll never not use a Stream Deck because it's visual hotkeys. I just push the button. I don't have to remember, shift plus this or F4 or whatever. Stream Deck is wonderful. But I could program the Stream Deck for a second profile for hotkeys just for Trade the Pool because of the amount of options. Because I have what is this? 15 button Stream Deck. All 15 buttons minus one are for DOS. I could make a second profile on that and literally do 15 hotkeys just for Trade the Pool to help with entries, specifically limiting in on fast moving tickers. So I could do like, bid plus 3 cents or whatever. You know what I mean? Like to help get in at a better, more favorable entry versus marketing. So that's something we learned pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, you can't market in on those. Not like it's just not gonna work.
Agreed, especially the fast moving small cap stuff. Now, if you're trading the large caps, I don't think that's as much of an issue because the book is a lot tighter. You're not taking as many shares because it's a large cap, something like Nvidia trading 1,000 a share. You're not going to take 10,000 shares of that and lose, a bunch of money because you were slipped 10 cents. Just my 2 cents on that.
Right.
But we at least wanted to update those couple things because those are the main questions that we've been getting. Also, to our knowledge, it is legit. Like we have known people to get paid, like physical, real money. So I don't think there's any question to their legitimacy.
Yeah,
Do what?
it's as far as I mean, from everything I've heard from people, it's legit.
Yeah, I mean, we got a guy in our room that I think was paid out recently, if I remember right from what he said. But we actually got to utilize. Like I know I said this in the past, then I had a bunch of stuff happen, like personally, kind of took me out of trading for a while. But I'm getting back into it, and we are going to start using it. I specifically am going to start using it more, and then try to create content around it so I can give a better, more valid opinion on things and showcase the platform a bit. um, there
I
will
think that'll.
be. Do what? I'm sorry. I can't.
I
Where
was
my
saying,
throat?
I think that'll be good.
We will have a link in the description to check out Trade the Pool because, like we've said from the get go, pros and cons aside, it puts some skin in the game for you, and I think you at least get a little bit more. I don't know, just that psychological thing that comes with trading, which is a big thing. It's a
Yeah,
huge
I mean,
proponent of trading.
you can make it. I mean, it's really going to be what you. I mean, like I was saying, you gotta set your expectations for it. But I mean, you can make it as good or as bad as you want it to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
it can be great, or you can act like it's, or you can not be happy with it, or whatever. But I mean, to me, it's great if you're starting out, not risk too much money and learn how to trade, or if you're trying to continue trading and you don't have a lot of capital or whatever. I mean, just any kind of reason. I mean, it's not nobody, not everybody just has $25,000-$30,000 to go throw in a day trading account. I mean,
Right. Yep. Because especially if you're in the U.S., you got that PDT rule, and you need basically 30K to open an account if you want to be over PDT. This lets
exactly.
you not. You don't have to worry about PDT.
Bypass.
Um, yep. So
I mean, and
I think.
I mean, because PDT sucks, man. I can't trade under PDT anymore.
Oh yeah,
If I,
we'll burn through 3 day trades in the first half hour of the day sometimes, and then we're close out for the next 5 days if we were under PDT. Like, yeah, that can't do
I mean,
that.
I don't, yeah, you can't do that. It's just not. It just wouldn't
Yep.
work.
Oh yeah. So this lets you get around that for sure. So I think it's like you said, good place for people to start out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we will do more content in the future. Like I do plan to do like some live trading videos using the platform so people can see what it looks like live, especially at open with the time and sales, the level 2, because those are two big things. Um, time and sales is great with Trade the Pool. Level 2 has come a long way from where it used to be. But I've told people before, I don't know of a better level 2 than DOS. But again, that's just my opinion. Um, and that costs a lot of money to use that on a monthly basis. So
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive.
yeah, so it's kind of one of those you get what you pay for. But I've told people this, I think on our other content we did about Trader Pool a long time ago. I think if you're getting into trading, I think the platform that they offer, I'll show it one more time, I think is sufficient for somebody just starting out. Like,
Yeah, you can really learn how to maneuver around a professional
yeah,
style platform.
yeah, because I mean, I can literally do. I mean, I can change time frames. I can look at daily charts. I can look at weekly charts. I can. I mean, I can do all sorts of stuff. Um, and you can. I mean, I can. If I need to. I mean, I can zoom out of to Nvidia for. This is a daily chart from the last 10 years, right? Like, I mean, I can do all. Which this chart is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, it
But
is.
um, yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff with this platform. It is very customizable. So really with the platform, I don't have a whole lot of qualms about it. But
I
anyway,
mean, it's nice.
yeah. But I will do some we'll do some content in the future, fleshing out some of the stuff more, the things you can edit, because it is very customizable. I mean, I can do tons of things with the chart. Level 2, I can do layouts, all sorts of crazy stuff. So I think it is pretty self-sufficient. But anyway,
Oh yeah,
I
it
think
ain't
that's
bad.
a good, yeah, I think that's a solid like update, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of give a little bit of opinion, I guess.
Yeah, and like I said, we're not like I'm still planning to use them, obviously, hence making the content and trying to use them and getting through an eval and getting payouts, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I mean, some of these guys are getting 3, 4, 5 grand a month or more, and they didn't risk any of their own capital. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's pretty damn nice.
and even some of they have a Discord. Um, and one of the mods in their Discord, like, even straight up said, like, this doesn't have to be a long-term solution for people, right? If you did extremely well with Trade the Pool for a period of time and you made some good money, then yeah, spread that money out. Like, take it to a Cobra or a Guardian or a Centerpoint. Like, take it to you know what I mean? Like a different broker and open. And then, of course, then at that point, you are risking your own money. But whatever, pros and cons. So
Yeah, I mean it, like you said, man, and that's why I was saying, to set your expectations realistically with it. You know, don't come in
yep.
thinking that you're just going to be slinging around massive size and making all this money so quick. I mean, it's still trading. It's still hard.
Yeah, and I don't care if you're using Trade the Pool, DOS, Cobra, Thinkorswim. I don't care what broker you're using. There isn't a single broker out there that makes trading easier. There might be some quality of life features that are helpful, but none of it's gonna make it easy. It's not easy.
Right. Right.
Um, so yes, we will have a link in the description for Trade the Pool, so you can check them out. The mini buying power I think is like $100, 97 actually I think is what it runs.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot more money you can spend to lose your own capital in trading than $97. It's a great starting point. Can't emphasize that enough. If you're starting out, I'd rather lose $97 than 9,700 or 970 or whatever the case may be. 97 is a great upfront investment to learn how to trade, and you get the platform for 45 days. Like, you get a 45-day eval period.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's totally
more than
worth
fair. Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
But with that, right. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good place to leave it off. As always, if there's questions, please let us know. I promise going forward, we will answer them in a much quicker manner than we have over the last few months. The last few months have been pretty rough on both of us.
Yeah.
But we will do better about it going forward. There will be more content around this specifically coming up, as well as other stuff. You're going to do more stuff around futures. We'll start doing our live weekly recaps on like regular trading and that type of stuff. But we'll have more content too around Trade the Pool and just everything in general.
That's right. And yeah, just keep doing like y'all are doing, letting us know what you want to see. We appreciate it.
Yes, and we'll do better about it going forward. We've sucked, and we know it. Like, we know it. And to be honest, our trading has kind of sucked over the last couple months too. Yeah, well, yeah. It's not this
Yeah.
month. This month hasn't been great. Like, for the day trading stuff, it's been tough sledding. We've been going through some shit, and then trading goes through shit. So it's just they all
Yeah.
kind of go together.
Yeah. Exactly.
But we'll save that for another video too, because we got to do one on that eventually.
That's right.
All right, I think we're good. We appreciate y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe, etc., etc. Let us know if you have questions specifically about this or anything else, and we'll either answer them, make content, or do both. But the next one won't be so far away. So until then, peace.
Peace.